Hello, this is John, host of MGTOW is Freedom. Have you ever noticed that women don't act like women? Of course, we've all noticed that. That's been our fucking problem. That's been the genesis, the germination of the MGTOW movement on YouTube, on the internet, right? Through our culture. Even before it had a name, it started growing. This idea, this concept that women aren't necessary if they can't be women. So I just said, have you noticed women don't act like women? They don't, There's another indicator, and you can see it. And I'd like to ask you guys to do this. I'd like you to start watching how women move, how they walk, their physical gesticulations, their character of their movements. But first, I'm going to set the table with how women used to be. And I love the 1950s because television and movies were very popular and they were pervasive. There's films on everything. And when you see a feminine type woman, a woman who is exhibiting feminine characteristics, she takes very small steps. This is a big one I'd like you to look at. When you see women that take small steps, tiny steps, it makes their body language look different. And this is exemplified by women wearing heels, and high heels especially. Right? I've seen women take strides in high heels, and it is horrible to watch. Right? It's what the problem is. But let's go back to the 50s. Women took small steps. They didn't hold their arms out wide. They kept their arms in close. They held their purse. Right? They would point from the center of their body out if they said, I need that up there. They wouldn't swing their arm way up in a masculine command. Get me that. Right? It's a different body language. And when they walked, their body looks very still. They don't go up and down and up and down. They're not bobbing up and down. Women used to take small movements, small activities, and their voices. Watch those old movies and listen. Their voices are very high-pitched. They're very quiet. They don't say more than is necessary to get what needs to be said out. Right? Their needs were different. Their needs were small because they weren't convinced that they were bigger, the same as men, more important than men. The world was not gynocentric. There used to be this thing called finishing school. Now, women have had the benefit of public education just as men have had for well over a century. Right? But they would get to a certain point and they would attend what's called finishing school. They would take classes that would prepare them for home economics. Right? These classes were taught, and they just stopped, I think, being taught when I finished up high school in the late 80s. Home economics, how to cook, how to prepare a table, how to sew. Those were skills that were being taught in school when I graduated because mothers at that point had stopped teaching them on a broader basis. But going back to the 50s, all women were taught these skills. All women were taught these skills. They were taught from a very early age to start caring for other babies. So as soon as a baby could walk, they handed it a doll. If there was another baby around after that, they would hand the baby to the young person to have them take care of them while the older women performed other domestic chores. And then when they got older, they learned basics, reading, writing, arithmetic. But they were not told you're the same as a man. They were not told you're going to take charge of your house. You're going to be in charge of this and in charge of that. They didn't teach them that. Instead, they taught them how to take care of a house. Right? If you're going to be a wife, you take care of the house. If you're going to be a husband, you go out and work and pay for the house and the woman. But women today are taught something entirely different. You're a man, you make the money, you're in charge of the house. They're not taught to be wives. But when women were taught to be women and taught to be wives. They took little steps. They were cute. They were quiet. If they made any motions with their hands, it was very small. It wasn't this, right? You're gonna do this and you're gonna do that and you're gonna stop right there or else, right? And they throw down the or else. That's where we're at today, where every marriage is characterized by a woman being in charge and saying, you'll do it my way or else. And that is why MGTOW is now saying, fuck you to women. Watch women today. Watch them walk. I just about vomited the other day. I watched a woman walking across a parking lot, taking a full meter-long stride. It was ugly to watch. There was absolutely nothing pretty about the way she walked. Nothing feminine, nothing attractive about it. Just disgusting. They want to be men so badly, they now move like men. Their voices are no longer quiet. They're loud. They're brash. Everyone has to fucking hear them. Instead of little small gestures, right? They're swinging their arms and telling everyone how it is. Right? You can't walk by a woman now and have her be quiet, right? She's got to make a fucking scene. You know, I come into a room and I'm pretty big and large and I have a presence. I don't have to announce it. I just am there. I'm a man. Women come in and they're fucking loud, right? They want attention, and so they demand it using other things. But back to the way women move. Watch women walk today. They don't take steps. They stomp their feet. It's really fascinating to watch. And if you're in a house or a building, particularly older buildings where there's echoes and you can hear reverberations because of people moving, when you watch modern women move, they stomp. They stomp their feet to make themselves, I guess, sound bigger, sound more important, to draw attention to themselves. They stomp. They don't take little steps. Now, I've heard the excuse, because I've brought this up to other people in discussions about the way women move. Like, they go, well, they need to get somewhere. Parking lots are big, stores are big. They need to get somewhere. I have walked with women who take the small steps, and they outpace me, and I'm 6'6". They do it very femininely. They take steps, even with heels on. They outwalk me because I take strides, I stroll, I move at a pace that I'm comfortable with. So you can't tell me that a woman who's a foot shorter than me, who takes little steps, little baby feminine steps, can't get where she wants to go faster than a big guy like me. Because I've seen it. I've actually said, hey, get back here. You're going too damn fast, right? You walk behind me 5 steps. I love to say that and then make them do it. And then I invite them back up next to me as long as they're behaving. That's right, I treat them like that. It's funny as fuck. Funny as fuck. Someone in every relationship has to be the boss, even if it's just a friendship. And my friendships aren't given lightly, and whether they're men or women, there are rules to the friendship, period. And when rules are broken, there are penalties. If it's a guy and you fuck up, fuck you, you're out of here. I don't need you. If you're a girl and you were my friend and you fuck up, piss me off, challenge my authority, get the fuck out of here. I don't need you. Who do I need in my life for real? Nobody. I can survive all by myself because I'm a man. So I'm tired of seeing women thinking they need to act like men. And now they move like men. And it is ugly to behold. It is ugly to watch. Ugly to watch how these women move now. They swing things about wildly. It is incredible, but please just do that. Take a look at how they walk. Watch an old movie and watch the characters, the women, the way they move. Watch how they mechanically flow versus women today. And I can use a great example of a woman who stomps around. Meg Ryan, the actress, yes. She is the cute little feminine looking, right? She pretends to be that, but watch the way she moves. She flounces all over the place. She walks like shit. She walks like a little 8-year-old boy, stomping his feet and throwing his legs around. She doesn't know how to walk. Women need to go back to this system, or they're finished. They need to go back to learning how to be a wife and learning what that means. They need to learn how to take care of a house, not run the house. They need to learn to take care of a man, not run the man. And I tell you what, it ain't going to happen in my generation. Probably won't happen in my lifetime. And the consequences of that are going to be that men will find out, to the extent necessary, that they don't need women, that they're not going to pay for women, and that women are going to pay for their insolence. And that's exactly what it is. It is social. They're lost. They're lost characters because they think they're men. But please, do me a favor. That's what I'm asking on this video. Watch an older film. Watch several. Watch the way women move. And then watch women today. They are not feminine at all. They're very masculine. Even ones that pretend like, right? The Nawalts, they pretend like they're not men. They pretend like they're women. Even watch them. Watch the way their bodies move. They don't move like women. They don't. This is John, host of MGTOW is Freedom. Men have the power. You are your own power. You don't need women. If a woman wants in your life, she needs to impress upon you her value and what she's going to give you, not what you're going to give her and how you're going to impress her. Fuck that. I have the penis. Semper Fi. MGTOW is Freedom. Out.